The movie begins with an intimate glimpse into the life of a young boy, Keita Nonomiya, who is being interviewed at his school. Keita is asked simple questions about himself and his family, and through his answers, we learn about his gentle nature and his love for his parents. He shares that his favorite season is summer because it reminds him of flying kites with his father. But this is a lie which was taught to Keita by his teacher at cram school. In fact, Keita's father is a very busy man and spends very less time with him. This opening scene sets the tone for the film, highlighting the weak bond between Keita and his father, Ryota Nonomiya. Ryota Nonomiya is portrayed as a successful and driven businessman who prides himself on his achievements. He has meticulously planned every aspect of his life, including his family. Ryota's wife, Midori, is a kind and nurturing mother who is deeply devoted to Keita. They live in a wealthy neighborhood and their home is a symbol of their success. Despite the outward appearance of perfection, there are subtle hints of tension within the family. Ryota is a strict father who places a high value on discipline and success. He is somewhat disappointed that Keita lacks the competitive spirit he views as essential for thriving in life. This disappointment is evident in how Ryota interacts with Keita, often pushing him to excel and to meet his high expectations. The Nonomiya's seemingly perfect life takes a dramatic turn when they receive a phone call from Mabashi Hospital, the place where Keita was born. The hospital informs them of a grave mistake. Keita may not be their biological son. This revelation shakes the family to its core. The Nonomiyas are asked to visit the hospital, where they are informed that a mix-up occurred 6 years ago, and there is a possibility that another boy, Ryusei Seiki, is their biological son. However, this can only be confirmed by a detailed DNA test. Doctors took a DNA sample of Keita and matched it with Ryota and Midori. Unfortunately, it did not match, confirming that Keita was not the biological son of the Nonomiya family. This news is devastating for Ryota and Midori, who cannot believe the idea that the boy they have raised and loved for 6 years might not be theirs by blood. The hospital made an arrangement for Nonomiyas to meet the Saiki family, who are the biological parents of Keita. The Saikis live a modest life, running a small shop, and their home is the exact opposite of the Nonomiya's luxurious lifestyle. Ryusei, their son, is a lively and spirited boy who enjoys playing with his siblings and helping his parents in the shop. The meeting between the two families is tense and awkward, as both are grappling with the reality of the situation. The Saikis are warm and welcoming, but there is an underlying tension as they try to come to terms with the fact that Ryusei might not be their biological son. Ryota, who has always valued success and order, finds it difficult to accept that the boy he has raised is not his biological son. He begins to question everything he knows about fatherhood and his bond with Keita. Ryota's internal struggle is portrayed with great emotional depth as he wrestles with the idea that blood ties might be more important than the love and memories he has shared with Keita. Meanwhile, Midori is more focused on the emotional well-being of the children. She is heartbroken at the thought of losing Keita and is less concerned about biological connections. This difference in perspective creates a gap between Ryota and Midori as they navigate the complex emotions brought on by the situation. Both families face a heart-wrenching dilemma. Should they exchange the children to correct the hospital's mistake, or should they continue raising the children they have known and loved for 6 years? The hospital suggests that the swap should happen before the children start primary school, which gives the families only a few months to make their decision. The Nonomiyas and Saikis are both torn, and the film captures the emotional turmoil they experience as they weigh the pros and cons of each option. The Nonomiyas, in particular, are concerned about how this will affect Keita, who is a sensitive child and might not understand why he is being separated from the only family he has ever known. Both families decide to meet again without the hospital getting involved. The tension is already high, and they can feel it building. They were clueless about what to do after knowing this truth. Ryota is torn. He has been raising Keita, but now he knows Ryusei is his biological son. At an office presentation, his colleague offers a wild idea: why not take both kids? After all, the Saikis already have 3 children. But as you can guess, things aren't that simple. Next, the two families meet at a shopping mall where Ryota comes face to face with Ryusei, his biological son, for the first time. Ryusei's manner is just like the Saikis, laid back, free-spirited. And this hits Ryota hard. He can see how nature has shaped him already. Yudai and Yukari, the Saiki parents, are hopeful to get money from the hospital as compensation for the mistake. But Ryota? He starts thinking maybe he could offer them money to get his biological son back without having to give Keita in exchange. Both families are confused and unaware of the outcomes of exchanging the babies. They decide to test out the swap by making Keita and Ryusei switch homes at the weekend, where Keita spends weekends with the Saikis and Ryusei stays with the Nonomiyas. It seems like a good plan, at least for now. These visits are emotionally challenging for both boys, who struggle to understand why they are being separated from their parents. Keita, who is used to a structured and disciplined life, finds it difficult to adjust to the Saiki's more relaxed and carefree lifestyle. On the other hand, Ryusei is curious about the Nonomiya's rich life, but feels out of place in their world. The film beautifully captures the children's confusion and fear as they navigate these new and unfamiliar environments. After the first weekend, Midori picks up Keita from the station and becomes heartbroken when she notices a small cut on his finger, a sign of the Saiki family's carelessness. On hearing this incident, Ryota also blames the Saiki family. The next day, Keita's grandmother visits him on his first day of school, offering Ryota valuable advice. She tells him that a child's behavior is shaped by the environment they're raised, not just by blood relations, so he should not leave Keita. Ryota acknowledges the wisdom in her words. After some days, the two families meet again. Yudai, after being tired from playing with the children, sits near Ryota and starts a conversation with him. He advises him to spend more time with his kids, warning him that time once lost cannot be regained. Ryota dismisses this, claiming his job is more important. Before leaving the mall, Ryota tries to offer money to Saiki's family in exchange for his biological son. On hearing this, Yudai loses his temper, but Midori steps in, apologizing on Ryota's behalf and defusing the tension. On the next day, both families meet at court, where a shocking truth is revealed. During the court trial, the nurse who swapped the babies reveals that she did it out of jealousy. She says that, at that time, she was married to a divorced man whose children disliked her, and she felt bitter seeing Midori in a luxurious hospital room with her newborn baby. She admits her guilt, but the families are stunned to learn that she will escape punishment due to the statute of limitations. The crime is only valid for 5 years, whereas this incident occurred 7 years ago. Midori is devastated to know this. Later on, Ryota receives a call to visit his sick father. On the table talk, his father advises him to take Ryusei back, emphasizing the importance of bloodlines. However, Ryota's stepmother offers a different view, reminding him that relationships aren't just about blood, they're built on love and care, like her marriage with Ryota's father. She says that any husband and wife in this world are not related by blood, even then they live happily. This means that blood relation is not as important as we think. Back home, Midori shows Ryota a drawing Keita made for him on the occasion of Father's Day. Ryota feels a sense of pride, but he's surprised when Keita tells him that he made an extra paper rose for Yudai. Ryota realizes Keita's thoughtful and kind nature is not like his own. Next, at a school piano competition, Keita doesn't perform well. Ryota, who is skilled at piano, feels his ego bruised. He convinces himself that this failure is due to Keita not being his biological son, and that night he decides to exchange Keita for Ryusei. At dinner, Ryota tells Keita that he will have to stay at Yudai's house, framing it as part of a game. Tension builds up between Midori and Ryota. She does not want to lose Keita. Heartlessly, Midori packs Keita's belongings, but is unable to sleep all night and keeps staring at Keita. Ryota, too, is seen sitting in a chair the whole night. Both families meet one last time to exchange their children. Yudai and Ryota are seen sitting close to each other. Yudai says that it's not fun to fly kites these days. He asked Ryota about his interest in kites. Ryota says that his father never played with him. In response, Yudai says that it is not compulsory to follow his father's rule of life. Yudai requested Ryota to play with Ryusei, as Ryusei is an active child and loves playing. Some distance away, Midori and Yukari are seen walking together. Ryusei's mother, Yukari, tells Midori that Ryusei scares easily, so she should take care of that. In response, Midori says Keita always wanted siblings. She hopes that Keita will be happy getting siblings. They took a group photo as their last memory and returned home exchanging children without telling them the truth. Back at Ryota's home, Ryusei proves to be completely different from Keita. He is energetic, playful, and restless, the opposite of Keita's calm nature. Ryota struggles to adjust to this. Ryota, who initially thought that having Ryusei would be a natural transition, begins to realize that Ryusei's personality is very different from his own. Ryusei is more free-spirited and less concerned with the strict rules that Ryota has imposed on his family. This realization further complicates Ryota's feelings, as he begins to see that being a father is about more than just sharing the same blood. One day at the office, Ryota receives a letter from the nurse who swapped the babies. He finds the nurse's address in the letter, and he confronts her later, but her stepson intervenes. He left from there. While sitting in his car afterwards, Ryota reflects on his strained relationship with his stepmother. Seeing the affection of her stepson towards the nurse made him realize his mistake for not having a smooth relationship with his stepmom, and calls her for the first time in his life. She is overjoyed by this. One day, Ryusei sneaks out of the house while Midori is asleep. Panicked, she searches for him everywhere around but cannot find him. She called Ryota, and together they searched for him, only to discover that Ryusei had returned to the Seiki household. Yudai scolds Ryota, offering to take care of both children if Ryota can't handle it. Ryota becomes speechless and leaves, taking back Ryusei with him. Meanwhile, Keita was peeking them from behind. He became sad as his father Ryota ignored him. After this incident, Ryota was disturbed mentally. The next day, Ryota and Midori played with Ryusei to make him happy. At night, all three of them slept under the open sky. Ryusei saw a falling star, and Midori said he could ask wish from it. She asked him what would be his wish. He replied he wanted to go back to his father and mother. This reply surprised both Ryota and Midori. After Ryusei was asleep, Midori was sad. She said to Ryota that Keita would also have the same wish as Ryusei. Ryota also thinks that, as a father, he wished for his biological son, but as a son, Ryusei did not want him as the father. The next day morning, Ryota wanted to take a picture of Ryusei asleep inside the tent. After clicking the photo when he viewed it, he smiled. He kept rolling the gallery and discovered photos of Keita. He missed him. After viewing some more photos, he found several pictures of himself, which were supposedly clicked by Keita. He was unaware of these photos. There were numerous photos of him sleeping and lying on the couch, which made Ryota emotional. By seeing these photos, he thought that Keita loved him and wanted to spend time with him, but he could not give enough time to him. He thought that these photos were proof of Keita's unexpressed love for him. After much soul-searching, Ryota comes to the realization that his love for Keita cannot be easily replaced by a biological connection. He decides that he cannot go through with the swap and chooses to continue raising Keita as his son. This decision is not made lightly, and the film shows the pain and relief that come with it. Ryota takes Ryusei and heads to his home. Ryusei is relieved to reach his home. Keita sees Ryota and runs away. Ryota runs behind him. Keita is angry with Ryota. After some attempts, he finally succeeds in convincing Keita. The Nonomiyas come to terms with the fact that Keita is their son in every way that matters, and they choose to move forward as a family. The Saiki's response to the Nonomiya's decision is filled with mixed emotions. While they understand the Nonomiya's desire to keep Keita, they too face the pain of potentially losing their own biological son. But they developed a sense of hope as they come to terms with the situation and focus on providing the best life for Ryusei. The Saikis too come to understand that while Ryusei is not their biological son, the bond they have with him is strong and unbreakable. The families agree to maintain a connection, knowing that their lives have been forever intertwined by this experience. The resolution of the film is both heartwarming and bittersweet, as it highlights the complexities of family, love, and the choices we make for the people we care about. The movie ends on a reflective note, with Ryota spending more time with Keita, acknowledging the importance of being present in his son's life. The film leaves the audience with a powerful message about the true meaning of family, love, and fatherhood. The Nonomiyas and Saikis, though coming from different worlds, realize that their lives are forever intertwined by this experience. The final scenes depict a newfound understanding between them, as they choose to maintain a connection and support each other. The film leaves the audience with a powerful message that transcends cultural and societal norms, emphasizing that the true essence of family lies in love, care, and shared experiences rather than just biological connections. It challenges the notion that blood is thicker than water and instead suggests that the bonds we create through love, time, and shared experiences are what truly define us as a family.